The real church never needed a reformation,
because it never changed in the first place.
In Acts 2, on Pentecost, the Holy Spirit descends on the apostles like tongues of fire. St. Luke tells us they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. That pattern, teaching, fellowship, Eucharist, and set prayers, is the DNA of Orthodox life.
After Pentecost, the church didn't stay in one place. The apostles scattered like seeds across the world, carrying the fire of the Holy Spirit into every land. Ancient tradition and the earliest Christian writers record where they went. Peter began in Jerusalem, then led the church in Antioch, where believers were first called Christians, and later journeyed to Rome, where he was first martyred.
Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles, traveled from Antioch through Asia Minor, Greece, and finally Rome, founding and strengthening communities everywhere he went. James, the brother of the Lord, became the first bishop of Jerusalem and presided at the council recorded in Acts 15.
Andrew, the first called, brought the gospel north to Byzantium, which would later become Constantinople and throughout the Black Sea region.
Mark the evangelist carried the faith to Alexandria in Egypt, where one of the great centers of Christian theology and worship was born.
Thomas traveled eastward to Edessa and as far as India, where ancient Christian communities still bear his name.
John, the beloved disciple, lived in Ephesus and received a revelation on the island of Patmos, where he saw the heavenly worship that shaped the church's own liturgy. Through them, the faith took root in every culture and tongue. One church, many homes, united by the same Eucharist, the same creed, and the same Spirit.
What did those churches look like? They baptized, laid hands for the gift of the Spirit, gathered on the first day of the week, and celebrated the breaking of bread, which was the Eucharist. They had bishops, presbyters, and deacons.
Say, hold up, wait a minute.
They fasted and kept apostolic customs. By the late 1st century, a tiny handbook called the Didache, which is the teaching of the 12 apostles, describes Christian life. Fasting on Wednesdays and Fridays, baptism in living water in the Trinitarian name, Eucharistic prayers of thanksgiving, and warnings against false teachers. That's an early snapshot of how the church actually worshipped.